Students come into Park Academy from a variety of environments that didn't fit.
There was friction, there was frustration, there was difficulty, conflict, why aren't things working?
That's probably one of the most painful things as a parent, knowing that you, deep down inside, you can't help your child.
I look around and everyone's reading this perfectly fine. Why can't I just be like them? And that's kind of what I was like, what is this? Like, what's wrong with me? It kind of felt like.
Duke, as a pre-K kid, was so excited to go to school, but mostly being an only child, to be around other kids and friends. Even in kindergarten, we got feedback that perhaps Duke was learning a little bit differently. So we were always on a little bit of a journey to unlock Duke.
We had Duke tested for dyslexia.
It was very severe, like one of the most severe cases of dyslexia. And remember, at the time, he was 6 years old. So he ended up spending a lot of time away from his classmates, learning in the hallway.
I think at this time, Duke also started to become very aware of what was going on. He would talk about how he was holding the class back.
He expressed feeling misunderstood. To me, it's like, of course you're frustrated. You're very smart. You're very capable. In spite of being in a really good school with a great education, he was still having difficulties learning to read and spell.
Broke our hearts all the time to see this confident, happy kid just broken down by school and how he felt about himself at school. And it doesn't matter how fast you feel, running the bases, if you feel really stupid at school.
That really hurt my confidence in everything pretty much. Sports, schoolwork, it still kind of hurts to think about it and stuff. At my old school, I felt kind of like thrown out, like there was a big group and then there's just me. I woke up and I was just like, oh, I do not want to do this today. And it was challenging to get to school.
His self-image, the way he feels about himself, he doesn't feel that shame.
Had we stayed on the path that we were on, I don't think that we'd be seeing his personality show through. It is so much fun to see him laugh. I think every day would have been just probably that parent's nightmare of a struggle, not only getting to school, but just getting home to do something, do anything.
Keeping him in school.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you're witnessing your peers appear to be dealing with things that you can't deal with in a very comfortable way, that's really scary.
If a student feels that they are going to be criticized, mocked, made fun of, or that only the things that they do wrong are going to be highlighted, they have no desire to try. I wouldn't.
AR says he's changed. He's matured. He's grown more confident, more competent. He truly benefits, like many of our students. Once someone teaches you the 6 syllable types, you can look at a really big word and you know how to attack that word or how to break it down, how to decode it.
They see themselves and they see their journey in their peers. That's a really powerful, affirming message. Kids who were just surviving a day in school are now projecting themselves into the future.
It's a lot different when you come to a school that has people who have dyslexia, who have the same thing as you. It kind of feels like you're unstoppable.
And I think they know when you're interested in who they are and what they're doing after school. I like to talk to Duke about what position he plays in baseball.
Your way of preparing for a test is different than this person's and that person's, but it leads to a successful outcome. It is now your way. And finding the way for each student is challenging and fun.
We focus on their sea of strengths, and I think they feel that. We're always looking for the good. I keep a lantern on the wall, and they say, Mr. Mears, what's the lantern for? It's my job to see the light in you, and I want you to turn that light up as brightly as you can.
kind of like popped out of my shell, kind of. It felt like it was like a bubble around me when I at St. Pius, just trying to deflect all of like the bad stuff. I think it was really hard on my parents, this roller coaster of like up, downs, up, downs. Now I'm very good at the reading, which I never thought I would be.
Duke participates in many sports. He will want us to list them all. Duke has been participating in CYO basketball since he was in kindergarten. And before every basketball game, players line up and they face the crowd. One student reads a prayer. Duke has never, ever read the prayer. This year, 7th grade, David and I didn't know, we're sitting in the stands. The prayer is written on the wall.
And he's the first child. Right,
First child, and reads that thing out loud. I don't even know. The pride that he felt and that our family felt in that moment was, it was big.
That was a very, very good moment. But yeah, that was a very good moment.
Drastic changes that have occurred in young people that were not only not expected as soon as they were visible, but were never even considered to be possible.
To go from learning in the hallway at his old school and feeling so alone in that, to realizing at Park Academy there's resources behind every door, it's sort of magical.
I mean, we don't exist without the capacity of our community supporters.
And so many students are benefiting, so I hope they know that we are very grateful. Using their strengths to help our students, it makes me emotional. They're really making a difference.